All right, it appears it's 6 o'clock, so we're going to call this meeting to order. We need a record roll call vote and a location, apparently, of members. This is the first time we've done this, so.
Yes.
Okay.
With the new Open Meetings Act rules regarding electronic meetings, members will need to state where they are logging in from. So if you are at your home, you can just say your home in Bath Township or your office or wherever you are located that you are logging on your computer.
Oh, okay, guys, you got that? First time I've heard it, so that's good. Okay, Brenda, record roll call vote.
Ms. Howe?
Here and in my office. Is that what you needed?
If you could be specific as
Okay.
to in the Bath Township offices.
Okay, Bath Township office.
Mr. Wisswasser?
Charter Township of Bath Conference Road.
Mr. Almarigi?
My office in East Lansing, Michigan.
Mr. Benzie?
I'm at my house in East Lansing, Michigan.
Mr. Thewens Bliss?
Here at my house in Bath Township.
Mr. Rosecrans?
I'm in Mr. Benzie's basement. In East Lansing. Thank you.
All right, thank you guys, appreciate it. Again, that's interesting. So that needs to be done each time?
If we are doing an electronic meeting, yes.
Okay, got it. All right, Taylor, you want to tell us what we need to do if there's a public comments?
Yes,
Sure.
when we get to that point, if you have a public statement, you may raise your hand by either raising your physical hand if you have your video turned on, your Zoom hand, or by dialing *9. And then you will be addressed either by your screen name or by the last 3 digits of your phone number.
Okay. Number 3 are civil reflections. Pledge of Allegiance, Trustee Wisswasser.
Good evening. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have a moment of silence. Thank you. And hopefully we'll all keep in our thoughts victims from the last month, actually, last week. Okay, agenda. Approval of agenda. I do have a change. Does anybody else have a change? I see a hand. Trustee Friedwin Bliss.
I was going to suggest we insert a break under 12BA to allow Brenda to be sworn in so she can begin voting after that point.
Oh, under unfinished business? Oh,
yeah.
I see B. Excellent. That's a good idea. All right, my change. Is there anybody else? Nick, did you have a change? Oh, I'm sorry, Nick, did you have a change?
I think I can handle the change on behalf of Nick.
I'm thinking Jason might be reading my mind.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Trustee Amarigi.
Thank you. I'm just trying to find which one it is. I'd like to remove item 12B sub F, the resolution for temporary outdoor dining from the agenda.
Which one was that again? F?
Item F under 12B.
Okay, thank you.
Is that what you wanted to do, Nick? Must be, that was the, okay. All right. I'm looking at removing, let's see if I can find it now. It was mine. A is an Adam, small a. Has that been located? Did everybody find it? Okay, thank you. You can ask, I'd like to remove it. Do I need to explain why?
I'd like to know.
Okay. My reason for removing it is originally I wanted to put an addendum to the ordinance 74.74. And the intent was to address staggering, which has been brought up. It's a great idea. Our appointments as well as the term of office. My original thought was that it was a 2-year, but apparently it's been 3 years for a number of years. So that apparently, as far as I was concerned, was looking for a resolution, unable to find it. Could not find a resolution that indicated it was for 3 years. I think you have a copy of that resolution. You should, it has marked up, it was my marks that were on it. And in it, it speaks to, and this, Nick and I had talked about this, speaks to a resolution that was needed in order to have the 3 years. I couldn't find that resolution, as I stated. And so my thought was, and I was going to introduce a resolution not to change the ordinance. An addendum only clarifies or would clarify for you what it was. So I was looking at staggering the appointments and looking for the 3 years for a term. Now, the hard part comes in hopefully next week or next May 3rd, when I put in for a new resolution. There'll be 2 other appointees. In that process of 2 other appointees, we'll have to walk back to a 2-year in order to fulfill a 3-year. Otherwise, I end up putting 6 years for appointments that I bring to you. So what I'm looking to do is being able to put a resolution in May 3rd, addressing that issue. So I'm pulling this one, hopefully, is what I'm looking to do, and reassign or reintroduce it to you May 3rd. Does that help, or is that as clear as mud?
No, I understand what you're saying.
Okay. All right,
Move to accept the agenda with the requested amendments.
I'll second that.
all right. Thank you, Jason, appreciate it. Thank you, Joe. Need a record roll call vote on that?
Mr. Almarigi,
Yes.
Mr. Benzi,
Yes,
Mr. Funes Bliss,
Yes.
Ms. Howe,
Yes.
Mr. Rosecrans,
Yes,
Mr. Wisswasser,
Yes.
All right, we go to 5, which is a disclosure conflict of interest. Do we have any? Apparently not. All right, we're open number 6 for public statements.
If anyone has a public statement at this time, you may raise your hand by raising your physical hand. If your video is turned on, raising your Zoom hand, or by dialing *9. I saw 040 first. You can go ahead and unmute by dialing *6.
She's giving me a hand.
Oh, this is Will Tyler White Street calling regarding on the agenda item number 11, committee appointments. I see it's been 6 months and still no Downtown Development Authority appointments. This is irresponsible. It's nonfeasance of your duties as a supervisor. You're preventing the township citizens from taking part in their government, and if you were in the public sector, you would have been fired by now. So I'd like an explanation and some transparency in government here. What's going on? When are you going to appoint people? How many applications do you have? And when are these appointments going to be made? Please respond. Thank you.
And I can, of course, answer that, but if you're taking Will, I'll answer you after we're finished with this, if that's okay. No.
Laura, go ahead.
Yep.
Great, thanks. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Great, thank you. Hi, everyone. This is Laura Genovich from Foster Swift. I've spoken to you before. We represent the Botanical Company, which is interested in applying for an adult use retailer license in the township. Botanical Company remains excited about the possibility of expanding its business in Bath Township, but we do have concerns about the version of the adult use ordinance that is before you for adoption tonight. We continue first to believe that 2 retailer licenses rather than 1 will allow for more competition, which we believe is the Township Board's intent. So we would request that the board increase that number from 1 to 2. With respect to setbacks, we noticed that there's a 1,000-foot setback for a distance from daycares and other childcare facilities. When you take that together with the other locational requirements, it really limits the properties that can actually participate. And to us, that calls into question whether the township is looking for a competitive process or whether the lines are being drawn in a certain way to only allow certain properties to participate. So, you know, we'd ask that that be reduced, that setback be reduced from 1,000 feet to 500 feet, which will increase the number of properties that can participate in the competitive process. Botanical Company does have some other possible locations that would comply with that, but the fact that the 500 or the 1,000 feet really limits the properties, we just wanted to bring to your attention because it hasn't gotten much discussion at the meetings. 2 other quick points. One is we would request that this board clarify what the freeway ramp is for purposes of that setback. The ordinance defines freeway, but it does not define the freeway ramp. So when we're measuring the distance from the ramp, we'd like clarification that that means the MDOT parcel line, which is our understanding from the planner as to what that means. And finally, and perhaps our biggest concern right now is that it was our understanding that the Township Board sent this ordinance back to the Planning Commission to make the process more fair, more transparent, and more competitive. And in return, the ordinance that's now before the board eliminated the competitive process from the ordinance and delegates it to Township staff. We have the greatest respect for the Township staff, but frankly, we believe that process should be part of the legislation. I'm not sure that that can lawfully be delegated because it is legislative authority. So we would request that the competitive process be included in the ordinance so that our client and all of the other applicants know what that process is, that it's part of your ordinance, part of your law, because the way it's been done now, it's taking away this board's ability to decide what the standards are for evaluating applicants. And we have no idea what those standards are or whether they comply with the statute. We're here seeking a fair and competitive option. We don't feel that the current version of the ordinance before the board is competitive or fair. And because of that, we're not convinced that it complies with MRTMA, the statute, with the newest changes. So we'd request that you increase the retailer licenses to 2, put the competitive process in the ordinance, ensure that it's a fair process that doesn't simply say it will give an adult use license to anyone who already has a medical license in the township, and reconsider the minimum distance for childcare centers from 1,000 feet to 500 feet. And I'd be happy to answer any questions that the board may have.
Jeff,
Laura.
go ahead.
Is that me you said, Taylor?
Yes, sorry.
Okay. Hello, Jeff Dean, 7785 East Saginaw Highway, Bath Township. Wanted to thank the trustees for your hard work on the cannabis issue over the past few years. It's been very encouraging through this process to hear so much comment from the public and the operators who plan to operate under the proposed ordinance as written. After attending, I think, about 70 meetings or so now, we've moved to our construction equipment to our site and are excited to break ground on the project, which I think will be a great asset to the community of Bath. We've heard from the Demmer family's representatives here, an attempt to change this ordinance at the last minute and allow them to open a facility right next to a daycare. Personally, after listening to input from the public, local law enforcement, and families that I personally know in Bath, I think that it's disrespectful to our community and disrespectful to the process that we've gone through together. I genuinely appreciate all the time that the Planning Commission, the Board of Trustees have into this issue, and I hope that the ordinance passes as written and understand that the process will evolve over time. Thank you.
Okay, Thad.
Thanks, Taylor. And thanks everyone for the opportunity and once again considering the adult use ordinance this evening. As an approved medical facility in Bath Township, we are working to ensure the highest and safest possible standards. You all in the Planning Commission have spent so much time with almost 70 public meetings and opportunity for public input. Every part of this ordinance has been discussed and rediscussed and reconsidered. You all know that, so I just wanted to restate that again as a fact. And I want to thank you for your thoughtful work and again for your consideration this evening. Thank you.
Would anyone else like to make a public statement at this time?
Were we able to address that delay, Taylor, that was from the phones to the feed?
The delay is about 10 seconds, I believe, or maybe a little bit more.
Is that what you're, okay. My understanding was it was longer than that. Okay.
I don't see anything additional right now.
Okay. I'm going to take just 1 second to address Will if he's still, are you still there, Will?
Yes, he is.
Okay. I've said this before and I'll say it again, just one more time for you to hear it again. The DDA committee members, I am one short now. Right now we have 5 that are 7, including myself, would be 8. So we have to have 1 more, make it 9 on the committee. Purpose from my standpoint of doing it, and I'm the one, if you want to, you know, talk about being incompetent or need to be fired or whatever your term is you were using, has to do with the fact that I want a whole committee presented for the board, not piecemealing it. So that's part of what the issue is, and the holdup is being able to come to the board with a complete committee roster. So I hope that helps. Okay. Oh, there's Adam. Haven't seen you in a while, Adam. All right, our next one, I hope from Will that will help. Do we have anyone from, obviously, from county, state, federal, or other agencies? You're on, Adam.
Yep, I'm on.
You're
Thank
on.
you. Just 2 major points, you know, for the probably that the Bath Township wants to be alerted of. Yes, we are aware of interest in collaboration between multiple jurisdictions on infrastructure projects, particularly broadband. The county is obviously receiving a substantial amount of federal aid. We know that the local townships are also getting in the action, and the state is getting a significant amount of money. Because the money still does not have to be spent immediately, which is good to get us a chance to look at plans. I think it's wise just to kind of hold back and let's see where things are. The federal government is still debating 1, possibly 2 more infrastructure plans. So we kind of want to see what money is going to be available before we start partnering together and figuring out what we can do. Especially, you know, let it be a little more top-down driven. I know that there's been a lot of concern about the quality of the roads, but, you know, if the state's going to be putting a lot of investment in the roads, let's let the state do that first before we figure out, you know, what other levels of infrastructure need addressing here in the area. So I am looking forward to a very robust and coordinated conversation between all levels of government to see what we can do to make sure we address infrastructure needs going forward. The second issue is we know that the law allowing for remote operation of local government meetings has expired, but that still allows the counties to declare local states of emergency. Obviously, at the COVID surge, we think it's prudent for the county to continue to do that. But, you know, going forward, I think it's going to be more than just an automatic, vote of the county. You'll probably see an automatic vote of the county for May. But after that, we're probably going to have to do a better assessment of what the conditions on the ground are, because we don't want to be getting caught in the idea of just allowing for states of emergency to allow for the luxury and convenience of remote meeting, which, you know, some of us have gotten very much used to, and there are advantages to that. But, you know, we do want to be a little more cognizant that the law states that we have to declare emergency where it actually medically exists, not just because we enjoy the aspects of remote meetings. So expect to have that automatic May. So the local governments will be taken care of. They want to continue to meet remotely, and we'll just do an assessment of the conditions on the ground after that.
Any questions for Adam? Apparently not. Thank you very much. It's appreciated. All right, we're going to go on to, is there anybody else? Are we, okay. Thank you, Taylor. All right, we're looking at 8, which is the consent agenda. Do we have a motion to accept it?
I'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
Thanks, Joe.
I'll second it.
Vote.
Mr. Benzi,
Yes.
Mr. Funes-Bliss,
Yes.
Ms. Howe,
Yes.
Mr. Rosecrans,
Yes.
Mr. Wisswasser,
Yeah.
Mr. Almarigi,
Yes.
All right, we're on 9, which is the approval of your minutes. The draft minutes, I'm assuming everybody got a chance to read them. Is there any changes? Do we have a motion to accept?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Jason. Do you have a
Okay.
second?
I'll
I
second.
seconded it, Marie.
Thank you. I didn't quite catch it. All right, take a vote.
Mr. Funes-Bliss,
Yes.
Ms. Howe,
Yes.
Mr. Rosecrans,
Yes.
Mr. Wisswasser,
Yeah.
Mr. Almarigi,
Yes.
Mr. Benzi.
Yes.
All right, we'll move on to 10, which is the approval of our vouchers. Do we have a motion for approving the vouchers?
I would move to vouchers for Monday, April 19th, 2021.
Second.
Thank you. Vote.
Ms. Howe,
Yes.
Mr. Rosecrans,
Yes.
Mr. Almarigi,
Yes.
Mr. Benzi,
Yes.
Mr. Funes-Bliss,
Yes.
Mr. Wisswasser,
Yeah.
All right. We have appointments for committees. Do you want to do these all at once, or do you want to do one at a time? Okay, we'll take them one at a time. We have an appointment for the Park and Recreation. That's Angel Acheen. Do we have a motion? Okay, that one fails. We don't have a second. Do we have an appointment for Laura Ann Duran for Sewer Board of Appeals for a term that's going to expire December 31 of 2023?
So moved.
Support.
Got a vote?
Wisswasser,
Yeah.
Almarigi,
Yes.
Benzi,
Yes.
Funes-Bliss,
Yes.
Howe,
Yes.
Rosecrans,
Yes.
All right, 11C, it's a second appointment. This is for Lisa Mead to the Sewer Board of Appeals for a term expiring December 31 of 2023.
So moved.
Second.
You have a vote?
Almarigi,
Yes.
Benzi,
Yes.
Funes-Bliss,
Yes.
Howe,
Yes.
Rosecrans,
Yes.
Wisswasser.
Yes.
All right, at this point, we have 2 new appointments for the Sewer Board of Appeals. And we'll move on to 12, which is our unfinished business. Apparently, we don't have an introduction. It says none. Items for action. This is the one that had been a point, which is a good idea. So Brenda Chamber, where are you? Oh, there's Brenda. Now that appointment, is that to be made by myself or by staff? How did that, I have no idea.
We gotta move and vote on it.
Well, I know we have to move and vote on it, but I didn't know if there needs to be any seconds.
I'll make the motion. I'm
Okay.
going to appoint Brenda Chandler as our clerk for a period of 2 years. Appointment ending, I'm not sure when it would end. Would that be November 20th,
20th, correct.
2022?
That's correct.
I'll second that.
Okay, it's been second. Go ahead, Ryan. Trustee.
I
Bliss.
highly support Brenda's candidacy for this. I want to be clear, her last
Okay.
name is Challenger, not Chandler, just in case, as we're appointing someone, Brenda Challenger.
I think we understood that. Thank you. Is there anybody else with discussion?
Yeah, I got a question.
Yes, go ahead, Al.
It shouldn't be of 2 years. It's got to be a shorter period of time than that, right?
No, I believe she has to run an election like
Right, but
trustee.
that's less than 2 years away.
Right.
Read.
Well, it's through November 20th, 22.
More like
I will-
18 months.
I will amend my motion for slightly less than 2 years, ending November 20th of 2022.
Thank you.
She
I'll
couldn't, okay, she couldn't go past it anyway, but, okay, so we have an appointment. So we need a vote for our clerk.
Benzie,
Yes.
Stevens Bliss,
Yes.
Howe,
Yes,
Rosecrans,
Yes,
Wisswasser,
Yes.
Al Marigi.
Yes.
congratulations now, Brenda, you got the hard part, you get to vote. That's not always an easy part. All right, we are at 12B as in boy, which is your second reading.
This is where I asked for there to be a break.
This is where
Oh.
we break.
Forgot about that. Thank you very much. Who's going to swear Brenda in?
April Dunham.
I'm sorry.
April.
Oh,
Ready?
where's April?
Right here.
Oh, there you are. You're behind. Thank you.
Ready? I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this state, and that I will faithfully perform the duties of the office of clerk in and for the Township of Bath, County of Clinton, and State of Michigan, according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
I will.
Now I can say congratulations.
Thank you.
You're more than welcome. All right, do we want to go on now to 12B as in boy, the second reading? And adoption of ordinance 3168. Superintendent, you're on.
Thank you, Madam Supervisor. I have included in your packet this for second reading and adoption of ordinance 3168, which is the zoning ordinance. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them at this time.
There doesn't appear to be any questions. Thank you for that. So we're going to be, is there a second? We already know she gave us our introduction. So is there a second?
We have a motion first.
She had the motion. Well, I'll do it again. The
No,
motion.
no. She can't make a motion. It's got to be a board member.
All right. The second reading and
Wait,
adoption
wait,
of
can I
ordinance.
clarify?
Pardon?
Does a board member not need to make a motion, Supervisor?
Whatever you want.
No, I'm asking you the question. Is that not the way it needs to be?
Normally, that's true. Yes. So here's the motion. I'll repeat what the superintendent just said. The second reading and adoption of ordinance 31.68, which is a zoning ordinance. Do we have a second?
There's no motion, Madam Supervisor.
we're just reading it is all.
You're just
I
reading
will
it.
make the motion
Oh, for
to
Christ's sakes.
accept the second reading and adoption of ordinance 3168 as presented.
I'll second it.
Do we need to break down what just occurred?
Yes,
Okay,
do you
I'll
want?
break it down then.
Please break
So,
it down.
Staff members can't make motions. Board members have to make a motion. And just
Correct.
because it's on the agenda doesn't mean a motion has been made. So one of us has to make the motion. It being on the agenda is not a motion.
I read the motion, which was reading it.
No, it's
So
not
if
a
I
motion.
need,
It's a
if I need,
topic on
if
the
I need,
agenda.
listen, if I need to extemporaneously state it, so be it.
You don't. I'm saying a board member needs to make it. The item on the
And-
agenda is not inherently a motion.
It was just made and Jason made it.
I know, I'm talking
Okay.
about what you tried to do before that. I'm just trying to clarify so that we can move forward.
I'm sure you are, Trustee Feedwin Bliss.
Do you
Clarification.
understand my clarification?
Totally understand. Your clarification is incredibly clear.
Great.
Thank you. Jason, you made the motion, so we're going to vote on that. A second we had,
Hewens Bliss,
Yes.
Howe,
yes.
Rosecrans,
Yes.
Wisswasser,
Yes.
Almarigi,
Yes.
Benzie,
Yes.
myself, yes.
Now we'll go to item C, as in Charles, 12, second reading of the adoption of ordinance 3169. Superintendent Hildebrandt.
Thank you, Madam Supervisor. I wanted to note, and I included it on your agenda, which I'm sure you're not used to, but during the last meeting, during the approval of this introduction and first reading, you accepted several amendments, which included increasing the time period for retaining security footage from 48 hours to 10 days, changing the language for the location of the township offices to, via electronic meeting, and to update the clerk to reflect the acting or appointed clerk. I wanted you to know that those are included in the current version, and passing it includes those as well.
Is there anyone that would like to make the motion? Oh, I'm sorry, Nick, go ahead.
Thank you. I just wanted to provide one point of clarification. I had gotten a phone call this morning from Trustee Benzie asking me to provide some clarification about the distances from schools or licensed daycares for provisioning centers. The language here that's proposed is identical to what is in our existing medical marijuana ordinance, would be 2,000 feet from any school or licensed daycare for a provisioning center, or in the case of adult use, it'd be a retailer. And then the restriction would be 1,000 feet from a school or licensed daycare for any other marijuana use. Again, that's the exact same language that's within our medical marijuana ordinance. And I had received a phone call, so I wanted to make sure that I provided that clarification for you all.
Thank you, Nick. Was there any other questions? So now we're looking for a motion.
I will make that motion. I move to accept the second reading and adoption of ordinance 31.69 as amended from the first reading and as presented here in the packet.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Joe. All right, we need a vote. Brenda?
Howe,
I'm sorry.
Miss Howe,
Oh, no.
Rosecrans,
Yes.
Wisswasser,
Yes.
Almarigi,
Yes.
Benzie,
Yes.
Hewens Bliss,
Yes.
myself, yes.
All right, the motion to adopt. Is it okay if I read this? Second reading and adoption of the ordinance 3169 has passed. It would be 6-1. 6 yes, 1 no. Okay. All right, Nick, it looks like you've got the next D as in David, farmland preservation application.
Yes, thank you, Madam Supervisor. So as you all recall from our last meeting, we presented this for introduction. This is a proposal by excuse me, a business entity that, my thing wouldn't freeze. Sorry, just 1 second, folks. By NJ Halmick Sod Nurseries, as well as David and Joan Johnson, to submit their 5 parcels that are owned either by themselves or by the business entity into the Farmland Preservation and Open Space Preservation Program under the state's Natural Resources and Environmental Protection Act. Received some clarification that we cannot pick and choose parcels. It needs to be all or none. And then presumably if this is adopted, then I would finalize that paperwork with other staff, and then we would send it into the Michigan Department of Agriculture and Rural Development for their processing. And if there are any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Any questions? Thank you, Dick. Looking for a motion?
Supervisor, I would move to approve the farmland preservation application by David and Joan Johnson, NJH Helmet Sod Nurseries Incorporated of 6503 Park Lake Road as submitted.
I will support that.
Rosecrans,
Yes.
Wisswasser,
Yes.
Almarigi,
Yes.
Benzie,
Yes.
Hewens Bliss,
Yes.
myself, yes. Howe,
Yes. All right, we're going to move on to 12E. As in Edward, authorization for change in standard lighting contract. Superintendent Hildebrandt.
Thank you, Madam Supervisor. This is, again, you're seeing this from the last meeting. This proposal adds 2 streetlights to Heathfield Drive in White Hills so that the township can collect their special assessment on that. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Mr.
Any
Elmer,
questions?
trustee?
Oh,
Just out of curiosity, the service is calling for high intensity discharge lamps. Just out of curiosity, why not LED or something a little bit more modern?
I don't think I can answer that for you. I didn't notice that.
that would be consumer's choice.
Would you like to hold this until I can answer that for you?
I think I would like that.
Okay.
Is there any other question? So it appears this is going to be, is this Ryan? Go ahead, trustee.
This is coming from consumers, right? That's why
Right.
you don't have an answer to that, Karen. This isn't something we're setting up.
Correct. This is consumers forwarding the information to us as a municipality to approve it for them.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Marie?
Yes, I see. Now I see you. Thank you.
Okay. I'm sure that what they're putting in is what's matching what's around them. And that's the reason that they are putting these high density in.
My only concern is that they're going to put in these outdated lights and then shortly thereafter replace them with LED lights in an upgrade, and that will just add extra costs to our residents. So that's the only basis I have.
I might have something I can contribute to this. Being as I deal with the special assessment role pretty regular, they're pretty well set up in districts, and in that district, more than likely, I don't know this for a fact, but I'm pretty sure that they'll go with whatever the district has in it currently because it's not subject to an upgrade, and that's what we special assess for. And I'm guessing that that's what reason why they do that. However, I don't want to be quoted as written in stone for this, but that is the way the special assessment districts are set up by the type of lights they are in that district. And that would be a continuation of what they have there. I think that's why that's that way. Not saying it's right, not saying it's wrong, but I think that's oftentimes in these sorts of things, they don't forward think things as well as maybe what they should, but that's what they do. Maybe they'll change. I don't know. Maybe they'll put them all in, but if they do, they're gonna have to create another streetlight district because they're done by the lights that they have currently in the streetlight district. And that's how if you'll look in the assessing, you'll find that that's how they are priced out in the assessing, or that's how they're assessed basically, by how many lumens or the light is and what the type of light that it is.
Trustee Almarigi, go ahead.
I would feel comfortable moving this forward with the caveat that Karen asks about this, and if there is no room for adjusting to a more energy efficient light for legitimate reasons based on her judgment, then I'd feel comfortable with that.
I'd be happy to do that.
Okay, so it looks like we need a vote.
Motion.
You need a motion first.
Well, someone's going to make a motion. Go ahead.
I move to accept the whatever the application pending a conversation and judgment of Superintendent Hildebrandt.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Thanks, Joe. All right. Record roll call vote. Brenda?
Wisswasser?
Yeah.
Almarigi?
Yes.
Benzie?
Yes.
Fewens Bliss?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Howe?
Yes.
Rosecrans?
Yes.
Okay, we are now at, temporary outdoor dining has been removed, so we'll go to G, which is your storage rental. Do I have a motion?
I will make the motion. I move to accept what am I accepting here?
Storage rental.
The special use permit for the storage units. Sorry, I apologize for losing my place in the agenda. Bear with me for a second.
You said right.
I move to accept the Storage Rentals of America expansion at 7551 Coleman Road, the site plan and special use permit.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Thanks, Joe. Vote?
Almarigi?
Yes.
Benzie?
Yes.
Fewens Bliss?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Howe?
Yes.
Rosecrans?
Yes.
Wisswasser?
Yes.
Okay. Right, now we are on 12H, the Housing Commission term adjustment. And I think, Al, you had asked for this?
Yep.
Okay. What I talked with Mr. Chris Schultz with regards to falling in line, for lack of a better term, for the staggering, and he's agreeable to do this. The others, Matthew Casby, he was in line. Michelle Mirren, who is the resident, she's in line. Ms. Terry Wood, she's also in line. So and our vacancy member, which we do have a vacancy on it, ends 12/31 of 23. So this is within the ordinance 29 for the Housing Commission. Is there any other questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
You said that there was a 5-year terms.
That's correct.
All right, you got a new vacancy and you've only got a 2-year term.
That's correct. That vacancy already has its slot. The new slot for the 5-year would be Ms. Terry Woods, if she decides that she's going to end her termination as a member of the committee. That would be our first one.
Okay.
Any other questions? So I guess the motion, if we need a motion. Is
Marie,
someone,
I got
yes,
another question.
nope, shoot.
Okay. You've got a person gonna be in 22, 23, or 21, 22, 23.
Right.
And now Terry Wood is gonna come in for a 5-year term if she comes back in. So
That's
that's
correct.
gonna be 26, 12, 31, 26. So you're not gonna be having anybody leave when they start the new ones. You're not gonna have anybody leaving that committee for 3-4 years.
Okay.
Well, I just, it seems like you should have one dropping off every year.
You do. You have one in 2021, which is Miss Wood. You have one in 2022. You have two that are in 2023 and one that is 2024. So when she drops off, if that's what she determines to do, she would have a 5-year, so that would be the 2026. Anytime after that, then it starts for a reappointment for 2022, which would be a 5-year.
Okay,
Okay, Sad.
I see what you're doing.
Okay. Because each time you will have those who will, their terms will limit. And if they decide they would like to be reappointed for that length of time, they will be reappointed.
I got one more question.
Sure, go ahead.
Are you gonna call them retreads when they come back on? Like you did us?
Sure, they're retreads. Is that supposed to be a negative term?
Yes, it was.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know if you caught it or not.
Catching it is not something that wasn't important to me. Obviously it was to you. I'm kind of a retread. I'm a transplant here in Bath. Do I take offense to that? No. And I've been here 20 plus years. So I don't, whatever. Anyway, so I need a second. Jason, is that your hand up?
That is my hand up.
Okay, thank you.
Do we have a motion on the table right now?
Well, we should, but someone hasn't made it yet, so.
So I'd like to ask my fellow board members to postpone this issue. And Supervisor Howe, this is not against making adjustments to the terms. I had an opportunity to drive through, I think it's called Country Manor, not so long ago. And I had some concerns about the upkeep of the facilities. And I've had a couple conversations that are a bit alarming. So I'd like to ask our board to hold off on making new appointments to this, at least until there's a chance to learn a little bit more about the history of the Housing Commission, the members, and then how that facility is operated.
All right, I appreciate that, but there's a couple things from your statement, and I do appreciate it. There are no new appointments. These are all people who have been there, and we've reappointed some of them. There is a discussion going on with, and there will be, they're going to decide, Wednesday, whether or not there'll be a meeting that will take place between the township and themselves with regards to, how do I put this, a not-for-profit taking it over, or if they want to mingle, if they want to assume a position with another low income, which would be Ingham County. I think Ingham County has one. Grand Rapids has been working and apparently has done this, and it's been very successful. So they are looking at morphing, for lack of a better term. So what you're saying is not totally out of line. They're trying to determine what's the next direction for them. and they will decide on Wednesday whether the committee will have a meeting with the township, because we of course have resolutions and agreements and et ceteras with them. I think Mr. Treasurer Wiswasser would know more about that than I do when it comes to what it is that they pay us each year and why they pay us. So that's our connection that we have with that. Otherwise, federal government takes care of it. Our connection is the financial agreement, which is apparently a small agreement, and the fact that we appoint their boards. As trustees, you do that. Once they become a not-for-profit, if that's what they decide to do, we have nothing to do. We'll have to come back to you, to the Board of Trustees, in order to cut the umbilical cord, for lack of a better way of putting it. Does that sound right, Trustee Wiswasser? I mean, you don't know. I was the one that spoke to him. You were the
I'll answer it as a treasurer, not as a
Right.
trustee, but as a treasurer, the only thing I can tell you is by our ordinance, we can, which we've done in the last 2 years prior to this last year, we've actually waived their taxes, payment in lieu of taxes, which they have to pay a payment in lieu of taxes, which is a computation form that fills out by their CPA in direct response to what their status is, the people that's living there, the people, how many places they have rented, and their income in which they've had. They've struggled tremendously in the last 3 years. This year was the first year in 3 years that we didn't get asked to waive their payment in lieu of taxes. They paid their taxes. I gave Supervisor Howell a copy of that in the computation form, as well as what the breakdown is where the money goes. There's very little money that goes anywhere other than the school system. Bath Schools is who makes out for this, and they make out in a couple of different ways. Because the children count as our head count at the school system, which some of you may or may not be aware of, as far as students in school. The school makes out a little bit by having the children there, obviously, and that's what it should be. It should be about the kids. But as far as the township's participation, we get very little. We ask for very little in accordance to what the ordinance is. It's basically the federal government and HUD who controls everything that they do over there. They have a tight budget, just like everybody does that works with federal government and federal agencies. I think there's enough of you on the board here that's got some sort of a connection with the federal government that you know exactly what we're talking about there. But I'd be happy to share you that payment in lieu of tax information to any one of you if you want to look at it. But like I said, they have struggled in the last couple of years. I think that probably that may be a reflection on what they did over there and what they haven't done, or maybe how the building should look, or maybe how something appears. But they've made progress and they've improved, and this year they're back on their feet per se. I don't know what their day-to-day financials are. I don't get involved in that. I don't know if that helps or not.
No, it helps tremendous. For me, it helped tremendous. Did it you for Trustee Amarigi? You think I could spit that one out?
Well, I think the financials are of importance, but I feel that we're in a position of stewardship over individuals in our community that may not always have the strongest voice. And so I want to make sure that when we are in a position to appoint the committee members, the leadership of that commission, that we do that in a fully informed manner. And so I personally would like to learn a little bit more about the Housing Commission. If they've struggled, I'd like to learn more about the financial struggles and the root causes of those. And then I'd like to feel comfortable that the residents there are being treated fairly and with updated and amenities that are not in disrepair.
No, I understand that completely. And of course, you can go, their meetings are open to the public. And I would certainly encourage you to do so, and encourage you to call Ann Scholes, the executive director, or any of the appointees. All this does is, this is ordinance 29, which we've been out of compliance with, and from the standpoint that our appointments have been 3 years as opposed to 5. So it really doesn't have much to do with the financing other than putting us in compliance with their ordinance 29, our ordinance 29. That's all this is. So, you know, it's entirely up to you as to how you want to hold it. If the board wants to hold on to this, I don't have a problem with it. We already have 4 people who are already appointed, you know, to this. The 5th one, again, was only going to take place if they were found. Ms. Wood has a real concern about the fact that there aren't enough. They need their 1 more. They do have a quorum. They do have a representative, a resident member. And I don't know if you've talked with her or not, which obviously would be a good choice to do. So again, I'm just asking for requesting our ordinance 29 Housing Commission to be confirmed. If you want to hold it, that's fine with me. What's the pleasure of the board? Is there any other questions that have to do with it? Al, go ahead.
Don't the state have to come in on this because it's the state's money
It's not the state's, it's federal dollars.
or federal money?
Right, it's HUD.
Won't they have to be in at that meeting?
No. The meeting that we're talking about has to do with our association with the Housing Commission. Because in order to adopt the ordinances and the agreements, they have to come to the local municipality that they're involved in. That's the only connection we have. How it's run, what they do is with federal government.
Okay.
All right, my box is lit up. Treasurer, did you have any more? Did anybody else have? Okay. Nope, it's lit up again. Superintendent, did you have something to add to it?
Sorry, I was putting my cup down.
Oh, no, your box is being lit up. That's why I thought somebody was there. I can't see for sure if there's a hand. All right, so is there any other discussion? So I guess if I'm going to repeat what Trustee Almarigi said was to put this on hold. So I'm assuming you're going to lay this on the table for, no? Okay. What's your time frame then? What are you looking?
I don't think lay on the table is the appropriate one. I think postpone it.
Well, that's the same. That's for how long? You have to have a time frame.
I'd say for 2 meetings. So on the 3rd meeting from today.
Today, okay.
Bring it back.
By that time, we should have had, well, I don't know if we'll have our meeting or not. It all depends because they're going to have to pull together. Okay, so it's the 3rd meeting from today. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Are there any other questions to have to do? Do we need a vote for this?
No.
So, because he's been made a motion that we don't accept this, or we're not saying he's not accepting, for it to come back the 3rd meeting from today, and I do not have a calendar. I know May 3rd is our next meeting, so it's the end of May.
1st of June.
1st of June. Thank you.
I'm not saying 1st. May.
No, I understand, but it's a June.
First
Yeah, we have 2
meeting.
meetings in May and the first one in June. And what would you like to know at that time? About this, about the ordinance? Is there any?
Well, nothing about the ordinance. I just want to make sure that I feel comfortable moving forward with extending appointment terms or making new appointments moving forward. So, and that can be conversations that occur outside the board meeting.
Okay, so no appointments. Okay. Okay, we'll keep the 4 that we have and we won't fill the vacancy. Is that correct? Okay. All right. We don't need, do we need a motion on that? Or are you good with the fact that that Trustee Almarigi has decided to hold it up? So you agree with that? Okay, all right. So we've got new business, B as in boy, for the Greater Lansing Food Bank. I think that's Superintendent Hildebrand.
Yes, thank you. I've got my glasses tangled in my mask. I know and appreciate that this board does not like expediting business, but under these circumstances, I thought you might be amenable. The Greater Lansing Food Bank is requesting our approval of a special license for a ribbon cutting ceremony and open house to their food bank, their new building here on Webster Road. They would like to be able to send out invitations for this event. And in order to do that, I felt it necessary to move the approval of this meeting instead of waiting 2 weeks, because that would hold them up a great deal. So they have submitted the application in front of you. It is complete to the specifications of the Bath Township Police Department. Chief Linda Mulder has signed off on this, and it needs a board resolution in order for them to send it and pay for their permit for the event. So if you have any questions, I'd be thrilled to answer them. The alcohol will be served by professionals and minors are not invited. So the security should not be an issue for them. And if there are any other questions, please go ahead.
No, I only had one statement to make with it before you second it, Joe. I did, because I didn't understand what this was, I reached out and spoke with one of the trustees. I wholeheartedly support exactly what you're saying, so that's appreciated. They also had some very good words to say about Daryl Kessler and how he's helped. So I think this is a plus for them. At first, for me, it was like, this didn't seem to fit their mission, but after the discussion, I understood exactly what was being done and what was being said. So that's the extent of my statement. Joe, go ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Thank you.
the request.
I'll support it.
Okay, we've got a motion, we've got a second, support, so we need a vote.
Hewens Bliss,
Yes.
myself, yes. Howe,
Yes,
Rosecrans,
Yes,
Wisswasser,
Yeah.
Almarigi,
Yes.
Benzie.
Yes,
all right. Moving right along. We have new business, B as in boy, which is the Lori. Did I say that right, Nick? You're up again.
Thank you, Madam Supervisor. This is a special use permit that was the site plan was approved at the Planning Commission last week. And as Superintendent Hildebrandt said, I know we normally don't like to put things straight for a vote, but I would like to stress that this is the most complete application I have ever seen. They had all of their materials. There were no concerns from any of the reviewing agencies. And between the time that I had put the staff report together and the public hearing, which was 4 days later, they had fulfilled the 2 recommended conditions of approval without any solicitation. So everything here is good to go from my standpoint. There are no outstanding concerns. And so that's why I asked that we reward this this application by bringing it straight for a vote. So this is a new construction along Old M78 on the very far eastern side of our township between Peacock Road and Nectar Lane. This is for Mallory Building Contractors, and it would be their new office building and their attached warehouse, which would be used for storage of their construction equipment. I've had some folks ask if there's any sort of actual construction or building of materials going on there. And the answer to that is no. This is just the storage of their construction equipment. So if there are any additional questions, I'm happy to answer them. Otherwise, hoping that someone will make the motion and it'll be approved.
I just have a quick question, Nick. From what you've shown, which is, you're right, this is really good. Is that office building going to be in the front and then the storage behind it? Do they have enough road frontage to put it side by side?
So it's somewhat staggered.
Okay.
The office building would be closer to the road, still set back by a decent amount. The applicant is here if you have any questions that you'd like to direct to him. It's Ron Mallory. He is muted though.
There he is.
But it's the office is in the front and the warehousing is
In the back. That's what okay, thank you. That's all I needed to know.
Sure.
Is there any other discussion? Apparently not. That was a very good piece to have to do with it. All right, so we need a motion.
I'll make the motion. I move to approve the Mallory Building Site Plan and Special Use Permits as presented.
Thank you, Joe. Okay, which one? Okay. Yes.
Rosecrans,
Yes.
Wisswasser,
Yeah.
Almarigi,
Yes.
Benzie,
Yes.
Hewens Bliss,
Yes.
myself, yes.
All right, looks like the motion passed for the special use permit for Mallory Building. It was unanimous. Superintendent report.
Thank you, Madam Supervisor. I would like to start off by congratulating Brenda Challenger. I have been here over 9 years now, and I know no one that is come through staff that is hardworking and dedicated as Brenda. I'm proud of her. I'm proud of the positions that we're both in, helping to lead this community. And we have a great team here, and I can't stress that enough. So I'm very proud of you. Congratulations. Our staff is now back at full levels after a good bout of COVID. We had a couple of exposures and we had a couple of positive tests, but we are all back as of today, which is good. Everybody's back and healthy, and many of us are getting vaccinated. So that makes me happy, because it's I hope less that we have to worry about, and keeping each other safe. I can't tell you how many phone calls the ladies in the front office have taken. I have to think it's nearing 250 for Tom King Junk Day, which is going to take place on May 1st, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. It does require a reservation, and people can register online for the drop off, and then seniors and those that are disabled are calling for a pickup date. So the front office has fielded these calls amazingly, professionally, and they've helped everybody out. So it's really great, especially after having to miss last year. Our residents are really looking forward to this. So I did also want to mention that there are several job postings that are currently open through the end of this week, which includes a DPW laborer for 32 hours a week, a recreation coordinator for about 32 hours a week, a senior center assistant cook for, I think, 26 hours a week, a front office assistant, and some DPW summer help, which would help weed whack in the cemeteries and do some other odd jobs. All very important positions that support us and keep things moving for our residents. The last thing that I want to mention is that the Mid-Michigan District Health Department has COVID-19 vaccination appointments available. You can go online to their website. They have at least 6 days of appointments available coming up, or you can call 211, which Bath Charter Township supports with a monetary a payment every year. So either people can call, or people can call 211, and 211 will assist you with trying to get an appointment. So that's my report. And if there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Any questions? Doesn't seem to be. All right, we're at number 15, which is our public statement 2.
If you would like to make a public statement at this time, you can raise your physical hand if your video is turned on, raise your Zoom hand, or dial *9 if you are phoning in. 040, you can go ahead and dial *6 to unmute.
Hello, Will Tyler White again. I appreciate the supervisor's response regarding the Downtown Development Authority appointments. However, I still find that unsatisfactory. You need to get that going, whether you have 3 or 4 or 5, you only need 1 more to start meeting. And whether you appoint 9 next month, 2 of them, their term would expire by the end of the year. So you'd have to reappoint or appoint more. So 2 people expire every year. You keep that in mind. So you need to get that going. And I appreciate your working on it. And thank you for having a efficient and productive meeting. And thank you for listening. Bye.
Okay. Phone number ending in 855. You can unmute dialing *6.
Hi, this is Larry Fewens Bliss of Mead Creek in Bath. I just wanted to say that our family took advantage of the bowling that the community offered, and it was a lot of fun, and I appreciate that. And we also purchased a bunch of balloons at Dollar General, so whoever came up with that idea, that was a great idea to give to our seniors. So good job, guys. Thanks.
Okay. Would anyone else like to make a public statement at this time? I do not see anyone additional.
Okay, Taylor, thank you.
Mhm.
All right, we're at number 16, which is board member comments. Joe, you are in the right-hand corner.
Congratulations, Brenda. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right, Trustee Amarigi, you're next. You're in the next block.
I want to congratulate Brenda on the appointments. Have fun and good luck. I also want to touch on something that our Commissioner Stacy had talked about, and that was broadband. He had advocated for a top-down approach. One thing I wanted to mention is that we had established a task force through the Planning Commission, and that task force is made up of some incredible people in our community. We have a powerful powerhouse group of individuals who are both leading the task force and leading the work groups within that task force. And so are getting our ducks in a row, doing our research, understanding what exactly are our needs does not preclude working collaboratively with the states, with the county, or other communities. And so we have a very collaborative and open approach to this. So I just want to say that I'm very proud of this task force and its leadership. And I'm excited. Those who have been some of our fiercest critics in terms of dragging our feet are some of the folks who are doing the heaviest lifts. So I want to acknowledge those individuals as well. So I'm really excited. I think we're going to be in a really good space moving forward when it comes to meeting our community's internet needs.
Thank you, Trustee Friedman Bliss. You're next.
Another congratulations to Brenda. You've served the township for a long time with great dignity and great efficiency and effectiveness, and I am really excited to see you serve in this new role. I don't know that there's anyone else who could pick up the reins and run an election tomorrow if we needed them. So it'll be exciting I'm not asking you to do that, to be clear. it'll be exciting to have you on the team. Look forward to working with you. I've gotten a couple of questions and pokes in the last couple of weeks about why the board isn't moving DDA candidates forward. And I just want to clarify for folks, DDA candidates have to come from the supervisor. And so we're waiting for the supervisor she described tonight to pitch us a full roster, and then we'll vote on those. That is different than some of the other committees where the board is able to bring folks forward. So I just wanted to add that level of clarity for folks who are asking that question. Thanks.
All right, Trustee Rosencrantz.
I just want to congratulate Brenda. She's always had a smile. I hope it stays on your face after a couple, 3 weeks of the real world.
Thank you. All right, Treasurer Wisswasser, you're in that top left corner.
Thank you, Madam Supervisor. I too wish to thank and say congratulations to Brenda. She joins a very elite group of people. You're one of 3 in my 60 years of being a township resident. The first 2, obviously, Kathy had 39 years of that, so that goes back a long time, if that tells you anything. This is a position of to be great importance, and we're very proud to have her, and she's very prepared for it. I also want to thank the board. Bath Township is a leader, and we need to be the leader, as what Jason talked about on this internet thing. And we provide a lot of money that provides the infrastructure for this county. So yes, we don't need to stop. We need to keep moving forward. Thank you.
All right, I guess it's my turn. I don't think there's any more that can be said, Brenda, except I'll see you tomorrow. You know, with that, but it is congratulations, to say the least. As for the support, I certainly support Trustee Almarigi for your statements. I don't think I could have said it any better. I think you make some excellent points, and so does Trustee Feedwin Bliss with regards to what's happening, you know, in the township for the DDA. And you're absolutely correct. It's my responsibility to make sure that those are brought to you. Micromanaging is a really tough thing to do, and I'm trying really hard to make sure that this new DDA board will be a very sufficient, very active, very hardworking group of people. So having said that, it looks like we have an adjournment. So do we have an amendment, or no? Is there something you want to say, Trustee Bliss? Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I don't know if Brenda had a chance to give a board comment.
Oh, I thank you. Brenda, would you like to make a comment? I forget you're in that back corner.
I just want to thank everybody. I'm truly honored at everything everybody said and how you guys think of me and stuff. I know I have some big shoes to fill, but I think I can do it. I don't think I'll have a problem. Kathy taught me a lot. I think I can just, you know, go right in and I'll be all set.
Thank you. Thank you for the reminder. That was something that, you know, for her, she's there. Now we'll have to include her in this, as one person put it to me, the Partridge Group, which, you know, I thought was rather apropos. All right. So do we have an adjournment?
I move we adjourn.
Thank you. And you're going to second, Joe? Good man. All right. We need a vote.
Rosecrans?
Yes.
Wisswasser?
Yeah.
Almarigi?
Yes.
Benzie?
Yes.
Fewens Bliss?
Yeah.
Myself, yes. How?
Yes.
Thanks, everybody.
Is that it? Al, it's 20 minutes after 7. There you go.